When it comes to baseballs, they can affect us in many different ways, throwing objects towards people or understanding the speed at which something will go off based off of the fundamentals of throwing a baseball. When it comes to throwing a baseball, however, it's all in the windup and the stretch. VI is the speed of the player's arm when it isn't moving, and VF is the speed of the player's arm when they release the ball. Distance is between the player and the place that it's going to be caught, so home plate, and acceleration is just V over T, and time being how long it takes to get to the destination. V being found from VI and VF. Baseballs can also have something to do with forces, as the force of the ball can affect things that it hits and interacts with. For example, if you were to throw a baseball at a trash can, when the baseball hits the trash can, the force of the impact would outnumber the kinetic force acting on the trash can and cause it to move or fall over. Shovels. Shovels are used in daily lives, especially here in Canada, whether it be scooping up leaves during the fall or picking up snow and moving it around in the winter. Shovels are very good for everyday use. Typically, shovels are made with a wooden handle and a metal head. The metal head allows for a lot more strength to be put on the shovel so that you can move heavier and bigger objects. A shovel is pretty much just a lever. You push down on one end and then the other end will push up. In the case of using a shovel for day-to-day life, when you push down on one end, you put applied force downward and it overcomes the gravity that is on the other end to push the object upward. And if you were to put it into an image, you can see here that the applied force when after you've lifted it up, so when you're pushing it forward, will go up towards an outer area, and it's beating out the kinetic force that is being pushed against it. As well as the normal force is still beating out the gravity force, so overall the applied force wins. You can find out how much work is being done on the shovel by using the equation FD cos theta. F being FA plus FK plus FG plus FN, D being the distance between the object moved, and theta being the angle at which the shovel moved up at. This can also be related to the unit of energy, as energy is released and energy is put into the shovel. The chemical energy from your body gets put and turned out into sound, thermal, and kinetic energy through the shovel. Phones. Phones are used in everyday life all the time, especially with students, as they stop paying attention in class with them. Although phones have a lot of physics behind how they work, including electricity and energy. A phone takes in electrical potential energy and potential chemical energy from the electricity that is within the battery and the chemicals that cause reactions when inside of the battery that all happen while using the phone. The energy released from the phone is light energy, thermal energy, and sound energy. Sound being from the things that come out of the phone speakers, light being from the screen, and thermal being from the battery heating up because of all of the chemical reactions starting inside of it. Phones also have something to do with sound and waves, as on the inside of a phone is a vibrating speaker that can output sound from depending on what you're choosing to play from the phone. It also sends out Bluetooth signals that come out in waves at millions of times per second, hitting many different things but mainly transceiving between two objects, as waves are being transformed into information. Speakers are used in day-to-day lives as they are found inside of our phones, inside of our headphones, and you can find them at public events as they are used to get information across to everybody there. Like how at Relay for Life, there was a speaker used that put out information so everybody knew what was going on. Speakers send out waves at multiple frequencies. All the user has to do is request it to do that. The speaker then vibrates back and forth at super high speeds to make the sounds come out. These sounds then bounce off things around the speaker to reach your ears so you can hear them. The eardrum inside of your ear is just a big thing that takes up vibrations. That's all it does. It then takes that information and the brain hears sounds out of it. There are a lot more things that you can change about waves that come out of a speaker. Like, you can change the frequency, so of how fast the audio is coming out of, how far the audio can travel with dampening, and other things. Speakers also have stuff to do with electricity, as they are powered by electricity and chemicals. Speakers require electricity in order to work, because in order for the vibrations to happen, electricity needs to be flowing through so that the motor inside can vibrate it back and forth as fast as it can. The electricity is the energy that it uses, and without it, the speaker would not be able to vibrate at all. Magnets. Magnets are used in day-to-day lives, especially as fridge magnets, because fridge magnets are stuff that you put up on your fridge. People can use these to display calendars or pictures that they like. There's a lot more uses for them as well, like having a fridge door open and close. They use magnets on the inside of the door to make sure that it is secure and that no cold air is coming out. A fridge magnet is a pretty simple device. All it does is just attract to the fridge. It does this by having the metal on the inside of the fridge be made up of a mainly negative polarity element, and then the magnet is made up of a mainly positive polarity element, and because opposites attract, they stick together. Magnets also have something to do with quantum field theory. In QED, quantum electrodynamics, particles carrying a new type of charge interact with each other by exchanging a massless gauge boson that can carry a charge with them. And when it comes to magnetic and electric fields, they are thought to be assigned to every point in space and time. This means that they will have an infinite degree of freedom. Pretty much, from my understanding, and the little, but enough that I read through of what I was reading and researching with, these charges come with these particles that are on top of, or on these elements, and whenever they have to interact, they will interact and they will exchange to create a magnetic field around whatever that thing is. Now, according to this, there is a magnetic field around everything, everywhere, at every point in time in the future and in the past. So, really, all you have to do is get these charges to interact with each other in exchange in order for that field to actually be present where it is with enough force and charge to actually be used.